Hello, and welcome to another lesson with Glenn Senpai. I've had some questions about Warlock, and especially Warlock in PvP. I mean, if you have any questions about Warlock in PvE, I'd say ask TJ or something. But I have a little breakdown. First of all, I'm going to talk about add-ons, then a bit of stats, talents and glyphs, rotation, macros, some keybinds, and then Fancy Boy will help me out to do a skirmish, and I'll show you a few things in a match. So first of all, the add-ons list is quite simple. These are the add-ons I use. I don't use this or that. But it's the add-ons I use to play PvP in general. So I use my LVOI and I use my battleground targets for battlegrounds. I use my Gladiator Lossa and Gladius X for arena. Those things you will see and hear in the final stage, and you'll see why they're so good. Second is talent. Second is stats. Stats wise, you always go for full haste, enchant haste on the neck, on the cloak, on the weapon, on the rings, all enchant haste. Try to get gear with a lot of haste. Go only two set. You go shoulders, and you go with the hands. The rest are the off pieces with haste, mastery, and versatility. Mastery is also really good. In case you didn't know. And talents and glyphs. Talents and glyphs pretty easy. Talents, I always go Dark Generation. I always go Shadow Fury. In arena, when I use a pet, I will go Soul Link. If I do not use a pet, I will always use Dark Bargain. Blood Horror in arena for when you're against Melicoms. Unbound Will when you're against the caster comms with heavy CC, like with mages, etc. Then you swap these two talents around. Supremacy or Sacrifice is also one of these twos, and it depends on what you face against. If you have a, let's say a 3v3, a comp against a DK and a balanced druid or whatever, that just passively will kill your pet the whole time anyways, so you might as well just sack it, so your healer is not stressed with that, etc, etc. Always Archimon's Darkness, just like in PvE. Always Soulburn Haunt, just like in PvE. Those are the best talents. Glyph-wise, always Glyph of Eternal Resolve, as we are playing an Affliction Warlock. I always Glyph Unstable Affliction, really good, since you'll be putting up a lot of unstable afflictions. And Siphon is always good, and especially when you play BGs, when you have a lot of dots going around. It actually heals for quite a bit. I personally prefer my health funnel for my pet then. I prefer to have my health funnel as an instant cost. I don't know why, but I just like it. The rest is optional out. Although recommend Glyph of Nightmares when you play BG to run over water. Okay. So mostly in arena, then you'll be swapping around. You'll be using Supremacy with Soul Link. There we go. It's also better to have a pet out when you're CC'd, for example. Even when you're CC'd, you can still silence their healer, etc. This one has also a really good dispel. So a purge on the target. I personally put it on autocast. Just this one, clone magic. So he constantly every 15 seconds, you know. Okay, and the next thing I'll talk about is some macros and keybinds. Macros, wow, for Warlock, it's not that hard. I do, however, have a Grimoire Sacrifice Dark Intent macro. Why do I have that? It's because I swap around a lot in arena, and I don't always have to drag Grimoire or Sacrifice to my bars to press it, etc, etc. I just macroed in my Dark Intent, so if I change the talent now, I change it to I want to sack my pet. 1 sec. 8 seconds, rather. So if I want to sack my pet, I have the same for tier 60. When I use Blood Horror or I use Unbound Will, it's always the same button and I don't have to swap it around. Same with Dark Bargain and Health Funnel, which I have here. Okay, changing to Sacrifice, and you'll see I do not have to sack my pet or drag it anywhere. I need to resummon pet first, obviously. And I just press my Dark Intent button, and I see I automatically sack my pet and cast Dark Intent on me. Other macros are, for example, the Dark Soul with all your cooldowns, which is pretty good. This is the Dark Soul for when I play Demonology. This is the Dark Soul for when I play Affliction Lock. 13 is always your first slot of the trinket, so don't forget that. Drain Soul, really handy macro for Drain Soul. Just you can see it. Just copy this one. So when I don't use, I'll need to go to my spellbook for that. Like for example, I go on target, I do Drain Soul, yeah? See, if I would press it multiple times, it clips on my bar, yeah? But with my macro I made, I can just spam press it, see, I'm spam pressing it, but it does not interrupt my cast till it's over. Okay, that's no channeling. It's the same thing for Shadow Priest, Mind Flay, etc. It's really good macros. What do I have otherwise? Obviously I have everything on Focus Target, because I'm used to it. Focus Target Soul Swap, Focus Target Unstable Affliction, Agony, Corruption, Haunt, Focus Target Fear. And these are all pet macros. If you want to go deeper into that, I suggest you do it yourself. 1 second. I'll give a little arena example so I can show you the add-ons. I'll just go into a skirmish. I will sack my pets because it's better for arena. Not sack my pet, rather. So basically while we're waiting for the queue, rotation ball is not really that hard. I mean, preferably you want to put up all your dots and then use your Soulburn Haunt, because the Soulburn Haunt will give you a buff. See, periodic spell damage increase, blah 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 blah. So make sure you have all your dots up before you do that, because these days dots get affected also when they're on it already. Dot everything, you can pop your cooldowns, you can stun this, etc. Rotation, and basically talking about rotation in arena is basically saying I don't know what arena is, because in arena you do not have it. So here you see on the left and on the right you see that's Gladius X. Gladius X will show the cooldown on the trinkets, cooldown on their spells, and it will show here the R's. The R's meaning fears, etc. I see a pet, I can banish that, spoil that, I silence him. I have the Warlock on my focus already. Look, as soon as he pops out his head, I will dot him up. Okay, never mind. I will use my healing cooldown because they're pressuring me. This is a healing intensive setup. I'll swap Haunt. Also a really good thing, you can see this here, is like I have all my targets macroed. So if I want to, for example, move to target 1 or 2, I can just swap while mouse scrolling, which is also really good. So what if you paid close attention, you could also hear a woman's voice calling out stuff. That voice is Gladiator Lossa. Gladiator Lossa calls out everything that's happening. So if they're popping cooldowns or if they're blah 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 blah, you'll know. You don't have to look. You don't have to look at the Gladius like here and here. We'll just call it out. Make sure you know what the abilities do. This will make for a better example with a healer. Should have stopped to unbound Will, by the way, because it's a mage. Okay. Fearing the mage. Silence the healer, put the healer on the focus, put dots on him. And now, to apply pressure, you pop your cooldowns and double haunt. Double haunt is painful as fuck. So I'm fearing the healer while I'm DPSing the other one, and rip. I will stop here for now. The main thing you need to do is practice a lot. If you have any extra questions, you need to ask them. Don't be afraid. Not everyone knows everything. I mean, I'm not a warlock player myself. I mean, I dabble into it a little bit, but I'll definitely not say I'm an expert. But I'm also not really bad at it. So, if you have any questions, you know, you can always ask me. I gave you a little example of the arena. If you have any questions about anything you saw or you know, what the fuck was happening, you can post it in the thread I'll make under this. I'll put it in the thread in the guild website. So. Anything else, thanks for your attention. If there's anything more, please leave me the fuck alone and bother TJ. Thank you. You, peace out.